Hey planner babes, Ashley here. Welcome to my channel. What I want to do in this video is show you guys how I made these templates whenever I find it here. These templates right here. So these are going to be my measurement tracker templates for 2019. I made 6 of them, so I have the first 6 months covered. And I actually posted these on Instagram, and I got a lot of questions about how I made them. A lot of people requesting YouTube videos on how to make them, so I thought I'd go ahead and do a video and show you guys. Again, I made 6 different ones. The actual tracking table itself remains the same on every single one of them. The only difference is that I obviously just added different stickers to each tracker. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to show you guys how I made this. Keep in mind, I did make this for a classic size happy planner, so if you have a mini, you will have to make size adjustments. If you have a big planner, you can use the classic size, but if you're wanting it on a full big sheet, then you'll need to make size adjustments as well. But again, this is for a classic size happy planner. This is how I made this little template. So I'm just going to actually show you guys my computer screen, and I'm literally going to walk you through this step by step on how I created this entire template, minus the stickers. I'm not going to go through that because obviously you guys, I'm sure, know how to put stickers down to paper, so I'm not going to go through that, but literally we'll go through the process on the computer and on how I print it. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I'll show you guys how to make your own custom measurement tracker. Okay, so before I get to the actual computer screen where I show you guys how I make this is the paper I'm printing on. It is by the Happy Planner. This comes with lined and the graph paper. And I want to show you guys, if you're using a mini Happy Planner and you want to print something like this on mini, this is how I figured out what size to make my page, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second on the computer, but this will kind of give context whenever I get to that part. But if you just take a ruler, and I always measured it from the inside where the pre-punch part is, so in to out, and I just kind of rounded up, so that's about 6.5, and then you measure it this way, and that's about 9, give or take. So just keep that in mind, and you'll see what I'm talking about whenever I get to the computer screen and show you guys how I change the paper size on the computer. So let's go ahead and hop over there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so here we are at my computer screen, and I created this template on Microsoft Word, so you'll just need to open up a new document, which I have here. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the top where it says layout, and we're going to change the orientation to landscape. From there, you'll just make your title, July measurement tracker, or whatever it is that you want it to say. And then obviously you can make this whatever font, whatever size, anything like that you want. Now the font that I'm using is by Tara from Rad and Happy. I can link to her website down below, but if you want this font specifically, you'd have to pay for it. I don't recommend doing that just for this template, because I mean, Word has got a ton of different fonts, and there's some really, really cute ones on here. But if you're like desperately wanting this, I will link to her website down below, and that way you can get it. But so you'll just do your title, and then what you'll do is you'll go up here to the top where it says insert. Sorry, I'm hitting the tripod. And you'll hit insert a table. Now the size of your table is going to depend on how many rows and columns that you need. So what I recommend doing is, before you insert your table and try to make this, write down everything it is that you want to track, and then determine how many rows and columns that you need, and then you'll just insert it from here. So let's say this is going to be 10 by 8. Down here in this bottom right corner, this is how you will make your table bigger, and you just kind of play with it until it feels right for you. And so you'll just move it around to the size that you want, and then up here in the top left corner is how you'll actually move the table. So if you want to move it a certain direction or whatever, you just grab a hold of that little arrow looking thing and you do it that way. So I'm not going to actually print this one. I'm going to print the one that I created that already has all of my stuff on it, which is right here. So this is my template here that I have, and again, the only thing that I changed was I turned it to landscape. I put in my header, I put in my table, and then from there I just started to fill it out. So if you just click in there, you can just start typing. But I just started to fill out all the information that I needed to track. And then down here I have a little cheat sheet for myself. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this and you'll have this as your own little guide for printing out templates. Now I'm not going to say like this is like you have to do it this way, because every printer is different. So keep that in mind, and also keep in mind too, if you're not printing on classic size paper, it's going to print out differently. So this is what I use to print. So I'm actually going to print one for July, which I already changed the month. And that way I can have it, and I'll just decorate it, and I'll have 7 months inside of my planner. So to print, change the month, which like I said, I already did. I changed it to July. And then save as a PDF. And then this is actually how I print it. And I will show you what that means here in just a second. So we're going to go to the print screen on here, but we're not going to print from this. I'm going to save it as a PDF, and we'll put July on here. Save. We will minimize this. Get out of that. There's July measurement tracker. Now I'm not going to print this second page. I don't need that. What we'll do from here is we'll go to this print screen, and then if you look on here, it says to print A5 horizontal. It's the one on the right, and I'll show you what I'm talking about there, at 85%, and I'll show you what all of that means. So paper size A5, it's already set this way because I usually print this way. And then we're going to change it to horizontal, which is the one on the right, remember, because I always get these backwards. So the one on the left is going to print it vertically, and then like it'll print with your header up here and your table here, and a lot of your table actually will be cut off on these sides. So if you do it horizontal, it'll print out this way. So we've got it onto horizontal, and then I have to change it to 85%. And that'll print it. As you can see, it all looks like it's going to fit on that screen well. So that's what I scale it to for the classic size. And then what we will do now is I will actually take you over to my printer, and I'm going to show you how to put your paper in and all that stuff. So we're at the printer. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that your pre-punched holes are already on the left side of your printer. Because if you put them onto the right side of the printer, it'll actually print this way. So it'll print with your title up here, your table here, and then you're having to lay your arm over top of the discs in order to write inside of your table. And while it works, it's kind of uncomfortable that way. So if you put it onto the left side, it'll print with your title up here, and then the table's here, and then your arm's not laying on your disc. So, and that's for this printer. I can't necessarily say that it's going to print that way for yours. You just have to try it and kind of see how it comes out. So we've got that in there. And I didn't show you guys this because I already had it set this way, but on mine I can just move these in so they fit my paper, and that's actually a little bit too tight. It was bending up the paper. So that should be good. Okay, so that's in there, and then we'll just come right back over here to the screen. And as you can see, I didn't change anything. It's still A5. It's still horizontal, and it's still at 85%. So then, oh, wait a second. I have to change. I don't want all pages. I just want page 1 to page 1, because remember that second page was that stuff, and I don't need to print that out. So I hit print, and let's see how this comes out. There it is. So let's compare the one I just printed to, I'm probably making you guys sick, and I apologize for that, but the one that I had before. If you look, other than the stickers, they are the same. And that is how I print out my measurement trackers. Now I like for mine to be over to the left some. So just like putting stickers here, I have the room to do that. Keep in mind that this was kind of trial and error for me. I've wasted a lot of Happy Planner paper trying to print these out. A lot of like trying to write down what I did and then going back and trying new things to get it to where I want it. And this is what I finally figured out works for me and how I like to print it. So you may have to play around with it a little bit depending on your printer, you know, what your, if you're using Microsoft, like kind of what the presets are already set to. So just keep that in mind. And something I don't think I actually mentioned, let me go back here because I don't remember if I said it or not, so I'm going to show you anyways. If we're on this print screen, remember how I said the paper size was A5? Make sure you change it to A5, because if you don't and you print it out on a full sheet of paper, obviously it's not going to fit into your classic Happy Planner. And then the way I get it to completely fit on the A5 is I change it to 85%. That just shrinks the whole table down as one, so it doesn't make the table look wonky. But remember, change your paper size to A5 for the classic. If you're doing this on a big Happy Planner, you'll just leave it the regular US letter. Where's it at? US letter. And then you'll leave it at 100%. And so that's that, and you also want it to be horizontal. Now if you're wanting to print this on mini Happy Planner paper, I don't know the size for that, so keep that in mind. And then we would change it to A5. But I showed you how to measure that with the ruler. And so what you could do with that is just kind of go off of here to see what size would work. So if you look, I have A5 clicked, and then it tells me the size of A5 paper. So if you're using a mini, you could find one that's smaller. We know an 8x10 wouldn't work. A 4x6 would probably be good. That would probably print on, I know it would print on mini Happy Planner paper, but you'll just have to measure it and kind of make sure and see what paper size here will work. Now, if you're doing it on mini, the scaling might be different than 85%, so you're going to have to play with that. And again, if you're doing it on the big paper, just leave it at 100% on regular US paper. So keep that in mind if you're trying to print it out on different size paper. Okay guys, that's it though. That's how I print out my measurement tracker sheets. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and I hope you all have a great new year.